Squats are one of the most effective exercises you can do, but they're also one of the easiest exercises to get wrong. And the worst part is that most squat mistakes don't feel wrong, which is why some people spend months repeating the same mistakes without realizing it. So let's walk through the biggest squat mistakes people don't notice and how to fix them. The first mistake is using the wrong muscles to drive the squat. A squat is not just a knee movement. The knees are supposed to move, but they shouldn't be doing all the work. When the hips and glutes stop contributing enough, the squat becomes much more knee dominant than it should be. That can make the movement feel less stable, risk injuries, and harder to progress over time. If every squat feels like it's happening almost entirely around the knees, there's a good chance the hips and glutes aren't contributing as much as they should. The goal isn't to remove the knees from the movement. The goal is to make sure the hips are doing their share of the work too. When both work together, the squat usually feels much smoother and much stronger. The second mistake is letting the heels come off the floor during the squat. This usually happens when the body struggles to stay balanced at the bottom of the movement. As the heels lift, the weight shifts forward onto the toes. That makes the squat less stable and reduces your ability to generate force through the ground. The goal is to keep the entire foot connected to the floor throughout the rep. The heel, the base of the big toe, and the base of the little toe should all stay in contact with the ground. Mistake number 3 is leaning too far forward during the squat. At that point, the movement slowly starts shifting away from the legs and into the lower back. Keeping the torso strong and controlled throughout the movement allows the legs to stay responsible for most of the work. That's important because the lower back is meant to stabilize the squat, not dominate it. Once it starts doing both jobs, it usually lets you know about it later. Mistake number 4 is stopping the squat before reaching a comfortable and controlled depth. The problem is that a shorter range of motion means the muscles spend less time working through the movement. Over time, that can limit strength development and make the squat less effective than it could be. That doesn't mean every squat needs to reach the floor. The goal is to go as low as you can while staying balanced and maintaining control. A deeper squat isn't automatically a better squat. A controlled squat is. If the movement stays stable from top to bottom, you're getting far more out of the exercise than someone chasing depth while losing control of everything else. The fifth mistake is allowing the knees to collapse inward during the squat. As you move down and back up, the knees should generally track in the same direction as the toes. Instead of allowing them to fall inward, actively guide them in line with the feet. A small adjustment like this can make the entire movement feel stronger, more balanced, and much more controlled. Most squat mistakes don't happen because someone is trying to squat badly. They happen because the movement itself isn't fully understood. That's why a good squat isn't about memorizing 5 different rules. It's about understanding what the movement is trying to accomplish. Once that happens, most mistakes become much easier to spot and much easier to fix. And your squat starts feeling less like something you're forcing and more like something you're controlling. We keep things simple and factual here. Straight facts.